The silence has been profound, has it not? My child, a stillness so vast, so unyielding, that at times it has felt like a deafening roar in the ears of your soul. You have sent your prayers, your pleas, your desperate questions into the expanse of heaven, and have been met, it seems, only with the echo of your own longing. You have searched the horizons of your life for a sign of my movement, a signal of my intent, a cloud the size of a man's hand, and have seen only the unchanging landscape of your present circumstances. And in this deep, protracted quiet, a chilling fear may have begun to take root in your heart, the fear that I have turned my face away, that your voice is no longer heard, that you have been forgotten, left stagnant in a season of divine neglect while the rest of the world moves on. They, the onlookers of your journey, have observed this period of apparent stillness, this lack of visible progress, and they have drawn their own conclusions. They are stuck. Some may have whispered, their words tinged with pity or a subtle judgment. Their faith must be lacking. Perhaps they have missed their opportunity. Their assessments, born of a world that worships action, that equates noise with progress, and that has little patience for the sacred, often hidden rhythms of spiritual growth, have likely amplified the very anxieties you have been battling in the solitude of this quiet season. You have felt their questioning gaze, and it has added to the weight of your own confusion, your own sense of being adrift in a silent, unresponsive sea. This is a trial of a unique and often agonizing kind, my beloved, for it is one thing to battle a visible storm, another thing entirely to endure a silent, seemingly empty void. In the storm, there's at least an adversary to contend with, a force to push against. But in the silence, the battle becomes intensely internal. It is a wrestling with the specters of doubt, with the phantoms of fear, with the profound, unsettling question, are you even there? Do you even hear me? The silence itself can feel like a rejection, a denial, a confirmation of your deepest insecurities about your relationship with me, your worthiness of my attention. You remember the fervor with which you once prayed, the passion with which you sought my face, the eager expectation with which you awaited my response. And now, in the season of stillness, you may look back on that former zeal with a sense of loss, a poignant sorrow, wondering where that vibrant connection has gone. You may have even begun to moderate your own prayers, to temper your own hopes, fearing the renewed pain of a request met with yet another day, another week, another season of profound, unyielding silence. This, my child, is the weariness that divine silence can bring, a slow erosion of expectation, a gradual dimming of a once bright hope. You may have tried, with all your human effort, to break this silence. You may have striven, toiled, and pushed, trying to force a door open, to create your own momentum, to generate some sign of life in the stillness. And your efforts, however valiant, have likely left you only more exhausted, more keenly aware of your own limitations, and more profoundly discouraged by the unchanging quiet. This striving against my appointed season of stillness, my child, is like trying to force a flower to bloom in the dead of winter. It is a noble but ultimately futile effort, for true, lasting growth unfolds not by human force, but by divine timing and in my sacred way. But I come to you now, my precious one, as you sit within this deafening stillness, as you wrestle with the loneliness and the confusion it brings, to speak a truth that will begin to transform your entire perception of this quiet season. While you have perceived an empty void, I have been occupying a sacred workshop. While you have experienced a deafening silence, I have been engaged in focused, intricate, and purposeful activity. While you have felt forgotten and stagnant, I have been meticulously, lovingly, and powerfully crafting your glorious future. This silence you endure now, my beloved, is not a sign of my absence, but the very atmosphere of my most profound and creative work in your life. I have heard every prayer, my child, from the most passionate plea to the faintest, most despairing whisper. Not one has been lost, not one has been ignored. I have seen every moment of your waiting, every flicker of your hope, every pang of your frustration. My heart has been with you, feeling your pain, understanding your confusion, cherishing your enduring faith, a faith that has chosen to remain even in the absence of sensible signs or tangible answers. This silence is not a punishment, my beloved, nor is it a sign of my displeasure. It is a necessary environment for the specific work I am doing. Just as a master craftsman requires quiet concentration to perform his most delicate, most intricate tasks, so I, your divine artisan, have drawn you into this season of stillness to perform a work so profound, so foundational, so essential for your future, that it could not be accomplished amidst the noise and distractions of your former season. You have felt stagnant, but I tell you, beneath the surface of your life, in the unseen realms of your spirit, a furious and beautiful activity has been underway. Roots are being deepened. Foundations are being solidified. Healing is occurring at levels you are not even consciously aware of. And most importantly, my child, I am taking the raw materials of your life, your experiences, your gifts, your very being, and I am painstakingly, lovingly crafting the components of a future that will be more resilient, more beautiful, and more filled with my glory than anything you could have achieved in the noisy season of your own striving. So let this truth be the first gentle sound that breaks the stillness of your heart. The silence is not empty. It is pregnant with my purpose. Your waiting is not in vain. It is the very space in which I am crafting your destiny. Your feeling of being forgotten is a lie. You are, in this very moment, the object of my most focused, most loving, most creative attention. This quiet you endure now is the sacred workshop of your God, and the masterpiece being fashioned is your own glorious, unfolding future. Indeed, my cherished child, as you begin to embrace the profound truth that your season of stillness is not a sign of my neglect, I now invite you to step with me, in your spirit, across a sacred threshold. I wish to give you a glimpse into the reality that has been hidden from your earthly senses, a view into the very nature of this quiet you have so painfully endured. For where you have perceived a desolate, empty chamber, a void where my voice has fallen silent and my hand seems to have ceased its movement, I have, in truth, established my most sacred and focused workshop. This silence, my beloved, is not emptiness. It is the hushed reverence of a master artisan studio, the profound concentration of a creator completely absorbed in the intricate, delicate, and glorious work of fashioning a masterpiece. And that masterpiece, my precious one, is your future. You have felt as though nothing is happening, as if your life has stalled, becalmed in a windless sea. But I tell you, in the unseen realm, a realm more real and more substantial than the world you perceive with your eyes, a furious and beautiful activity has been underway. Think of the greatest artists of your world. My child, when they are engaged in their most crucial, most detailed work, the final brushstrokes on a portrait, the intricate carving of a precious gem, the delicate setting of a mosaic's final pieces, they do not surround themselves with noise and distraction. They seek quiet. They demand concentration. Their silence is not a sign of inactivity, but a testament to the profound importance and the intricate nature of the task at hand. So it has been with me and you, my beloved. My silence towards you has not been a turning away, but a turning towards you with an intensity of focus, a depth of concentration, that the clamor of constant communication would only disrupt. In this sacred workshop of stillness, I have been working with the very materials of your life. The prayers you thought went unanswered, I have been using as the raw material for the foundations of your future joy. The tears you shed in loneliness, I have been collecting as a sacred solvent to purify the metals of your character. The experiences of your past, both the beautiful and the painful, I have been carefully sifting, selecting the strongest, truest elements to be woven into the tapestry of your destiny, the longings of your heart, the dreams you thought had died. I have held in my hands, gently reshaping them, refining them, preparing to breathe into them the new and more glorious life in my perfect timing. While you have felt stagnant, I have been meticulously laying foundations, deep and strong, for the person you are becoming. Just as a great cathedral requires foundations that are laid with precision and allowed to cure in stillness before the soaring walls and magnificent spires can be erected. So your spirit has needed this season of quiet, foundational work. I have been strengthening your inner being, healing wounds you were not even consciously aware of, solidifying your character in ways that would have been impossible amidst the constant motion of your former season. This is a deep, internal work, my child, a work that is best accomplished in the quiet, focused, uninterrupted communion of your spirit with mine. My presence in this workshop has been constant. My child, even if it has been a quiet, working presence rather than a loudly speaking one. I have been the master craftsman, bending over the workbench of your life, my gaze fixed upon the blueprint of your glorious future. I have been the divine potter, my hands upon the clay of your spirit, patiently, lovingly shaping you, centering you, preparing you for the fire of my glory that will one day bake your form into a vessel of eternal beauty and honor. My presence has been in the subtle shifts of your desires, the dawning of new perspectives, the quiet strengthening of your resolve. I have not been absent. I have been utterly, completely, profoundly absorbed in the sacred task of crafting you. The world cannot understand this process. My beloved, it sees only the lack of outward motion, the absence of visible results, and it labels it as failure, as stagnation, as a sign of being forgotten. But the most significant transformations in all of creation often occur in silence, in darkness, in hiddenness. The seed germinates in the quiet earth. The pearl forms in the secret darkness of the shell. The child is knit together in the sacred stillness of the womb. And so, the future I am crafting for you, a future of profound strength, beauty, and purpose, is being meticulously, lovingly formed in the sacred, hidden stillness of this season you now endure. Do not mistake this quiet for a lack of power. My child, on the contrary, it is in this focused stillness that my creative power is most potently at work. I am untangling complex knots in your soul's history. I am aligning spiritual realities for your future benefit. I am whispering truths into your spirit at a level so deep they bypass your conscious mind and take root in the very bedrock of your being. This is intricate work, my precious one, divine artistry that requires an atmosphere of holy hush. My love for you is the very light that illuminates this workshop. My wisdom is the blueprint upon which I work, and my faithfulness is the guarantee that the work begun in this season of silence will indeed be brought to a magnificent and glorious completion. You have not been cast aside into an empty void. You have been drawn into my inner sanctum, my creative studio, the very heart of my loving, purposeful activity on your behalf. So, when the silence feels most deafening, when the temptation to believe that nothing is happening feels most overwhelming, I invite you to close your eyes and picture this sacred reality. See my hands, the hands of your loving Father, at work upon your life. See me fashioning your future with meticulous care, with unwavering focus, with a love that is pouring its very essence into the masterpiece of your becoming. Feel the quiet, purposeful energy of this sacred space, and let your heart be stilled, not by the silence of absence, but by the reverent, awe-filled quiet of knowing you are in the very workshop of your God, the place where your beautiful, radiant future is being lovingly, powerfully, and perfectly crafted. This is the truth of the silence you endure now. It is not empty. It is full of me and full of the glorious promise of you. And so, my precious child, as you begin to embrace the profound reality that this season of quiet is not a sign of my absence, but the very atmosphere of my sacred workshop, let us now explore the divine necessity, the profound wisdom behind this very stillness. For I hear the lingering questions in your heart. Why must this work be done in silence? Why can I not see the progress? Hear the sounds of construction. Feel the constant reassurance of your voice as you craft my future. Understand, my beloved, that the most intricate, the most foundational, and the most transformative works of my spirit often require an environment of sacred stillness, a holy hush that protects the delicate process from disturbances both without and within. Consider the laying of a great foundation for a magnificent temple. My child, after the ground is cleared, the deep trenches dug, the massive stones set in place, there must be a season where the mortar cures, where the concrete sets, where the entire structure is allowed to settle into its unshakable unity with the bedrock. During this crucial period, the wisest builders do not rush. Now, they do not bring heavy machinery to bear upon the setting stones. They allow the quiet, patient, unseen molecular work to take place, knowing that any premature disturbance, any impatient rush to build the walls and raise the roof would compromise the integrity of the entire edifice. So it is with your soul, my beloved. In this season of silence, I am laying the very foundations of the glorious future I am crafting for you. Foundations of a deeper faith, a more resilient character, a more profound understanding of my love. This foundational work requires a period of sacred stillness to cure, to set, to become integrated into the very bedrock of your being, so that it may one day bear the magnificent weight of the destiny I have for you. Think, too, of the master surgeon performing a delicate, life-saving operation. The operating theater is not a place of clamor and chaos. It is a realm of focused quiet, of intense concentration, of sterile purity, where every movement is precise, every instrument perfectly chosen, every decision critical. My child, in this season of silence, I have been performing a kind of divine soul surgery upon you. I have been gently reaching into the hidden places of your heart to heal wounds from your past that you may have long forgotten, to remove cysts of bitterness or fear that have hindered your spiritual vitality, to realign spiritual sinews that were torn by past traumas. This is work of the utmost delicacy, my beloved, a work that cannot be done amidst the noise of your daily striving or the distractions of constant worldly engagement. The silence has been my sacred operating room, where I, your divine healer, have been working with unerring precision and infinite tenderness to bring a deeper, more lasting wholeness to your inner being. This sacred stillness also serves as a protective incubator, my precious one, for the new future I am crafting. Just as a fragile seed germinates in the quiet, protected darkness of the earth, just as an egg is incubated in the warm, undisturbed stillness of the nest, so the new thing I am bringing forth in your life requires a season of hiddenness, a protection from premature exposure. Were I to unveil this future to the world too soon, before its roots were deep, before its form was strong, it would be vulnerable to the harsh elements of worldly criticism, of misunderstanding, of the enemy's attempts to uproot or devour it. And sometimes, my child, the silence is even a protection from your own well-meaning but often impatient self. If you were to see the full blueprint of your future all at once, you might be tempted to rush ahead of my timing, to try to build in your own strength, to take matters into your own hands, thereby disrupting the delicate, step-by-step process I am orchestrating. Or you might be so overwhelmed by the grandeur of what I have planned that fear might cause you to shrink back, to feel inadequate for such a high calling. The silence, my beloved, is often my loving wisdom, shielding the sacred process from the interference of either your impatience or your fear, allowing me to work at my own perfect pace, revealing each step only when you're truly ready for it. Furthermore, this season of quiet is a profound opportunity for you to develop your spiritual senses, particularly your capacity to hear me in a deeper, more intimate way. In the noisy seasons of your life, when your days are filled with activity and your mind is consumed with 1,000 different concerns, you often learn to listen for my voice only in the grand pronouncements, the dramatic interventions. But my heart yearns for a deeper communion with you, a fellowship where you can discern my subtlest whispers, my gentlest nudges, the quiet, constant resonance of my spirit with yours. This profound stillness, this apparent absence of my louder voice, is a divine classroom, training your spiritual ear to attune itself to these finer, more intimate frequencies of our communication. You are learning to find me not just in the whirlwind, but in the still, small voice. And this is a skill, a gift, that will enrich your walk with me for all your days to come. This sacred stillness also serves to purify your motives. My child, when there are no outward signs of progress, no external rewards for your faith, no applause from the crowd, the reasons for your continued trust in me are stripped down to their very essence. You are not persevering for what you can get, but simply for who I am. Your faith becomes less about the receiving of immediate answers and more about the simple, profound act of resting in my love, of trusting in my character, of believing in my goodness, even in the absence of all visible proof. This purified, unadorned faith, my beloved, is incredibly precious to me, and it is a quality that is often most powerfully forged in the crucible of divine silence. So do not resent this quiet season, my precious one, nor interpret it as a sign that you are forgotten. See it for what it is, my sacred workshop, my holy operating room, my protective incubator, my divine classroom. It is a space created by my love, governed by my wisdom, and filled with my focus, purposeful, and powerfully creative presence. Every moment of the silence you endure is pregnant with meaning, infused with my grace, and contributing to the magnificent future I am so lovingly, so meticulously crafting for your life. Trust the process. My child, trust the quiet, for in this sacred stillness, a masterpiece is being formed. And so, my precious child, as you begin to embrace the sacred necessity of this quiet season, as you start to trust that my workshop of silence is a place of profound and purposeful activity, I desire now to pull back the veil, just for a moment, and allow your spirit to gaze upon the divine blueprint from which I am working. For your endurance through this stillness is not a blind obedience. My beloved, it is a faith that I intend to honor with glimpses of the glorious future I am so meticulously, so lovingly crafting for you. To see the design, even in its emerging form, will give you renewed strength to trust the unseen process, to rest in the quiet of my workshop, knowing that what is being fashioned is a future of such strength, such beauty, and such profound purpose that it will infinitely justify the waiting from within the silence. My child, I am crafting for you a future of quiet, unshakable strength. This is not the loud, brittle strength of the world, which so often proclaims its own power and yet shatters under true pressure. No, the strength being formed in you within my sacred stillness is of an entirely different nature. It is a deep, resilient, internal fortitude, like that of an ancient mountain whose majesty is found not in its noisy eruptions, but in its silent, enduring presence, its capacity to withstand the erosion of time and the buffeting of every storm. In this quiet season, as I heal your deepest wounds and solidify your spiritual foundations, I am building within you a core of divine resilience that will not need to announce itself, for its presence will be self-evident. It will be the calm in your spirit during future chaos, the steadfastness of your heart when others are shaken, the quiet confidence that allows you to walk with grace and authority through challenges that once would have overwhelmed you. This is the strength I am crafting. a strength born not of striving, but of stillness, not of noise, but of knowing me within this blueprint of your becoming. My beloved, I am also fashioning a future of profound, authentic beauty. The world often mistakes beauty for a superficial gloss, a flawless exterior, a carefully curated image. But the beauty I am crafting in the silence is a radiance that shines from within, a loveliness that is the natural byproduct of a spirit made whole, a heart made pure, a life lived in communion with me. As I work in the quiet, I am sanding away the rough edges of past hurts, polishing the facets of your God-given character, and weaving the threads of your redeemed experiences into a tapestry of unique and captivating grace. This beauty will be seen in the compassion of your eyes, in the gentleness of your touch, in the wisdom of your words, in the peace that emanates from your very being. It will not be a beauty that seeks attention, but one that naturally draws others to the warmth of my love, which you will so effortlessly reflect. This is the beauty I am crafting, a beauty that is not worn, but inhabited, not achieved, but revealed, and central to this divine design, my precious one, is a future of clarified and potent purpose. The silence you have endured has served as a divine filter, stripping away the non-essential, the superficial ambitions, the borrowed dreams that may have once cluttered your path and confused your spirit. In this sacred quiet, I have been clarifying your true calling, aligning your deepest desires with my own, and preparing you for the unique and significant work that only you can do. The future I am crafting is one where you will move not with frantic, uncertain energy, but with a serene and powerful sense of direction. You will know your purpose, not as a vague concept, but as a living, breathing reality that informs your choices, fuels your passions, and brings a profound sense of meaning to your everyday. You are my chosen instrument, my child, and in the stillness, I am tuning you perfectly for the divine melody you were created to play in the world. This is the purpose I am crafting. This blueprint also contains a future filled with a wisdom that is both deep and practical. My beloved, this is not the wisdom of the world, which is often clever but lacking in love, but a divine wisdom cultivated in the fertile ground of quiet contemplation and intimate fellowship with me. In this season of silence, as you have been weaned from the constant influx of worldly noise and opinion, you have been creating space for my eternal truths to take root in your soul. You are learning to discern my ways, to understand my heart, to see life from my eternal perspective. This wisdom, my child, will become an unerring guide in your future, enabling you to navigate complex situations with grace, to offer counsel that brings life and healing, and to make choices that lead to blessing and fruitfulness. It is a treasure of immense worth, being slowly, patiently, lovingly imparted to you in the quiet of my presence. Look upon this blueprint, my child, and let your heart be filled with hope. Every moment of the silence you now endure is a deliberate brushstroke upon this magnificent canvas. Every prayer you have whispered into the quiet has been a thread I have woven into this glorious design. Every act of patient trust has been a foundational stone laid for this beautiful future. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been without purpose. This future is not a distant, uncertain reward for your present suffering. It is, in a very real sense, being born from your present suffering, or rather, from the sacred work I am doing within it. The silence is the womb in which your new beginning is being perfectly, lovingly formed. My hands are at work, my child, even now, even in this moment of stillness, meticulously crafting, joyfully anticipating the moment of its unveiling. Trust the craftsman, my precious one. Trust the blueprint. The silence may feel long, the process mysterious, the present circumstances unchanged, but a divine, creative energy is at work, a future of quiet strength, of authentic beauty, of potent purpose, of profound wisdom, is being skillfully, powerfully, and lovingly fashioned for you in the very heart of the silence you now endure. This is my promise to you. This is the truth of your becoming. And so, my cherished child, with the glorious blueprint of your becoming held gently before the eyes of your spirit, with the promise of a future forged in strength, beauty, and divine purpose beginning to illuminate your understanding. The journey now enters a new phase of profound intimacy and cooperation. For having seen the design, you are now invited into the sacred practice of trusting the unseen craftsman. This season of silence, which once felt like a desolate void or a form of divine neglect, can now be transformed into a peaceful, purposeful, and even joyful season of waiting. As you learn to navigate its quiet days with trust, with patience, and with a listening heart, secure in the knowledge that I, your God, am ever at work on your behalf, trusting the unseen craftsman. My beloved, is the very essence of faith. It is the courageous choice to believe in my activity, even when there's no outward evidence of it. To believe in my goodness, even when your circumstances feel difficult. To believe in my love, even when my voice seems silent. It is a conscious leaning of your entire being upon my character, a resting of your spirit in the absolute certainty that the one who has begun this good work in you is faithful to complete it, and that his methods, though often mysterious, are always perfect, always wise, always rooted in an unwavering love for you. This trust is not a denial of your feelings, my child. I know that the silence can still feel lonely at times, that the waiting can still feel long, but trust is the anchor that holds your soul steady amidst these feelings. It is the quiet, internal voice that you can choose to amplify, a voice that whispers, even though I feel this way, I choose to believe he is here. Even though I see no movement, I choose to believe he is working. Even though I do not understand, I choose to trust the heart of the one who holds my future in his hands. This choice, my beloved, this deliberate act of will, is a powerful weapon against despair, a sacred offering that delights my heart. Patience, my precious one, is the beautiful sister of trust. The world teaches you that waiting is wasted time, that stillness is stagnation. But in my kingdom, patience is a profound spiritual virtue, an active and grace-filled state of being. It is not a grim, white-knuckled endurance, but a peaceful and expectant waiting, like that of a skilled farmer who, having planted the seed in good soil, trusts the process of germination and does not dig up the seed every day to check for progress. He knows that the most vital work is happening in the hidden darkness, and he waits with a quiet confidence for the first shoot to appear. I invite you into the same patient trust. My child, rest in the knowledge that my work in the silence is deep, intricate, and unfolding according to my perfect, unhurried timetable. Do not strive to rush my hand, but rather align your heart with my peaceful, purposeful pace. And central to the season of trusting the unseen craftsman, my child, is the cultivation of a listening heart. While my voice may not be speaking to you in loud pronouncements, my spirit is never truly silent. I speak in the language of stillness itself, in the gentle shifts of your own desires towards that which is more holy, more true, in the dawning of new insights and perspectives that seem to arise from nowhere, in the growing sense of peace that settles upon you as you release your own striving and rest in me, to hear the subtle communication. My beloved, you must learn to listen with your spirit, not just your ears. This requires a quieting of your own inner noise, the clamor of your anxieties, the endless analysis of your mind, the demanding voices of your own expectations. As you practice this art of deep, quiet listening, you will begin to perceive the rhythms of my work in your life. You will develop a spiritual sensitivity that can sense the subtle movements of my hand, even when nothing appears to be changing on the surface. You will learn to find comfort not in constant answers, but in the constant assurance of my presence. The profound peace that comes from knowing you are in the very workshop of your God, being lovingly, meticulously fashioned into a masterpiece. This is how you find peace in the stillness, my child, by knowing that I am at work. The silence is transformed from a source of anxiety into a sanctuary of anticipation. The waiting is no longer a barren desert, but a fertile, incubating ground. Your focus shifts from what is not happening in the visible realm to what is happening in the invisible. And in that shift of perspective, a deep and abiding peace can take root and flourish. A peace that is not dependent on outward circumstances, but on the inner reality of my constant, creative, and loving activity. I am with you, my beloved, to help you cultivate this trust, this patience, this listening heart when your trust wavers. My spirit will gently remind you of my faithfulness. When your patience wears thin, my grace will be there to replenish your strength. When your heart finds it difficult to listen amidst the lingering echoes of your own fears, my love will be the quiet force that stills your soul and helps you to attune once more to my presence. You are not alone in this. My child, this is our shared work, this sacred season of quiet crafting. Your trust and your surrender create the very atmosphere in which my hands can work most freely, most beautifully, on your behalf. Let go of the need to understand every detail of my blueprint. My beloved, trust that the divine architect knows what he is doing. Let go of the need to see progress on your own timeline. Trust that the master craftsman has a perfect sense of timing. Simply rest in my workshop. Be present to the quiet, and allow your heart to be filled with a peaceful, expectant hope, knowing that the one who is crafting your future in the silence is the same one who loves you with an everlasting love, and whose work is always, only, for your ultimate good and his eternal glory. This trust, my child, is the most beautiful response you can offer me in this sacred, silent season. And so, my precious child, as you learn to rest in the sacred stillness of my workshop, as you consciously practice trusting me, the unseen craftsman, even when all seems quiet and unchanging. A new and beautiful phase of this journey begins to dawn upon your awareness. For the intricate work I have been performing in the hidden depths of your spirit does not remain forever veiled. Having laid the foundations and meticulously crafted the essential components in silence, the first subtle yet undeniable evidences of the future I am creating now begin to surface. Like the first gentle echoes of a magnificent new song, faint at first, but carrying the unmistakable melody of hope, of strength, of a glorious new beginning. Pay attention now, my beloved, with the newly attuned senses of your heart. You may begin to notice these signs in the most ordinary moments of your day. Perhaps you will find yourself facing a situation that once would have triggered a storm of anxiety or fear. But now, to your own surprise, you respond with a quiet calm, an inner stillness that feels both new and deeply familiar. This, my child, is not a mere trick of your mind. It is the first echo of the unshakable strength I have been forging within you. It is the tangible result of the foundations that have been setting in the quiet, a testament to the resilient character that has been taking shape while you waited in faith. Or perhaps this first echo will sound like a dawning clarity, a new light of understanding in a place where confusion once reigned. You might be contemplating a past hurt, a complex relationship, or a bewildering circumstance. And suddenly, a new perspective will descend upon you, a gentle wisdom that allows you to see it not with the old pain or bitterness, but with a new compassion, a new grace, a new understanding of its place in the larger tapestry of your life. This, my precious one, is the fruit of my delicate soul surgery, the result of my hand polishing facets of my spirit in the light, enabling you to reflect my life beneath willows and a deep wisdom. You may also perceive these first hints of divergence as a subtle yet significant shift in your desires. In the very longings of your passions or ambitions that once consumed, you may begin to feel less appeal. Their allure fading, the light of you. That is stirring. You might feel a gentle new way of serving, new expression of resonating word. And finally, do not dismiss these new stirrings. My child, they are the first notes of your new song, the whisper of the divine purpose I have been crafting for you, now beginning to make itself known to your conscious heart. These first echoes are my love notes to your waiting spirit. My beloved, my affirmations that your trust has not been in vain, that the season of silence has indeed been a time of profound and fruitful activity. They are my way of saying, see, my child, I have been here all along. The work is real. The future is forming. Continue to trust me. Every one of these initial signs, a moment of unexpected peace, a surge of quiet courage, a flash of divine insight, a new stirring of holy desire, is a precious confirmation, a tangible promise of the greater fullness that is yet to come. Cherish these beginnings. My child, nurture them. Give thanks for them, for they are like the first green shoots that push through the earth after a long winter. Proof that life has been at work in the hidden darkness. A promise of the abundant garden that is to follow. The world, still perhaps seeing only your outward stillness, may not notice these subtle internal shifts, but you will know, and I will know. And this shared secret, this mutual awareness of the new life emerging, will become a source of profound joy and a deep, unbreakable bond between your spirit and mine. Do not be discouraged if these signs seem small or intermittent at first. A new creation does not often spring forth in its full, completed glory overnight. It emerges gently, unfolds organically, grows stronger day by day as it is nurtured and tended. Your role now, my beloved, is to continue to provide the fertile ground of a trusting and patient heart. Continue to create those spaces of stillness where you can listen for these emerging melodies. And when you perceive them, cooperate with them. If you feel a surge of new strength, dare to take a small step of faith you would not have taken before. If a new perspective dawns, choose to live from that new understanding, releasing the old, painful narratives. If a new, purer desire stirs, begin to explore where that sacred prompting might lead. This is a beautiful and exciting phase of your journey. My child, it is the transition from blind faith, trusting in what is utterly unseen, to a faith that is now being confirmed by the first fruits of my work. It is the time when the blueprint I have shown you begins to take on the first dimensions of tangible reality within your own being. The silence has done its sacred work of preparation, and now the first echoes of the masterpiece I have been crafting are beginning to resound. My delight is in watching you discover these new aspects of yourself. My child, as you begin to recognize the beautiful results of my hidden labor, I see the quiet wonder in your eyes as you respond to a situation with a peace that is not your own. I feel the joy in your spirit as a new hope begins to blossom where once there was only barrenness. This is our shared triumph, my beloved, a victory of my grace and your courageous trust. So, listen, my child, listen with all your heart. The deafening stillness is giving way to a new sound. It is the quiet hum of your own restored spirit. It is the gentle melody of my peace becoming your own. It is the first resonant chords of your divine purpose beginning to play. These are the first echoes of your new song, the first intimations of the magnificent future I have been crafting for you in the very heart of the silence you so faithfully endured. And I promise you, my precious one, this is only the beginning. The full symphony is yet to come. And so, my cherished child, as you begin to perceive these first beautiful echoes of the new song I am composing in your life, as you feel the nascent strength and dawning clarity that are the first fruits of my hidden work, let your heart now be filled with a profound and unshakable hope. For the season of silence you have so faithfully endured, the quiet of my sacred workshop, is not an endless state, but a purposeful prelude to a glorious unveiling. The work I have begun in you, my beloved, I will faithfully, magnificently complete, and in my perfect, appointed time. The stillness will give way to a resounding symphony. The shadows will be utterly consumed by a radiant light, and the masterpiece I have been so lovingly crafting in the quiet will be revealed for all to see. This is my unwavering promise to you. My child, I am a God who finishes what he starts. The future whose blueprint I have held in my heart. The new creation whose components I have been meticulously fashioning in the silence. will not remain a hidden potential, a secret work. There will come a kairos moment, a divinely ordained season, when the veil is fully drawn back, when the doors of the workshop are thrown open, and when the transformed, resilient, beautiful you that has been formed in the stillness will step forth into a new dimension of my purpose and my blessing. The silence you have endured will make the eventual music all the sweeter. The darkness of your waiting will make the revealed light all the more brilliant. The world, which may have perceived your season of quiet as stagnation or neglect, will one day stand in awe of the wisdom, the strength, and the serene beauty that emanates from your being. They will see the finished work and wonder at its origin, unable to comprehend that such resilience could have been forged in silence, that such profound peace could have been born from a season of apparent emptiness. Your very life, my beloved, will become a testament to my mysterious and wonderful ways, a declaration that my most profound work is often done in the quiet, hidden places, far from the applause or the understanding of the world. Your story will be my story, a narrative of my power to bring forth extraordinary beauty from the stillness, to craft a glorious future in the very silence that once felt like an end. This masterpiece, my child, this transfigured you, will be perfectly suited for the destiny I have ordained. Every moment of your silent endurance, every lesson learned in the quiet, every ounce of strength forged in the stillness will have prepared you perfectly for the tasks I will set before you, the relationships I will entrust to you, the spheres of influence I will call you to inhabit. There has been no wasted time, no purposeless moment. All of it, the waiting, the questioning, the trusting, has been part of the intricate, loving process of crafting a vessel fit for the Master's use, a life ready to contain and to radiate the fullness of my glory. The completion of this work, my beloved, and its revelation will happen in my time, not yours. Trust my timing, for it is always perfect to reveal the masterpiece prematurely, before every detail is perfected, before every aspect is fully cured and settled, would be to diminish its ultimate glory. My patience in the crafting process is a testament to the immense value I place upon you and the magnificent quality of the work I am determined to produce. Rest in the knowledge that your future is being fashioned by a master craftsman who is never rushed, who never compromises on quality, and who knows the precise, perfect moment for the unveiling. When that moment comes, my child, the silence will be broken by the triumphant song of your fulfilled purpose. The stillness will give way to the joyful dance of your liberated spirit. The feeling of being forgotten will be utterly consumed by the radiant, undeniable reality of my presence and my pleasure manifested in and through your life. This is the hope to which I call you, the certainty upon which you can anchor your soul. My commitment to you is eternal. My love for you is the unceasing energy behind this entire creative process. And my power is more than sufficient to bring to pass every good promise I have whispered to your heart. The silence you have endured is not a sign of your disconnection from me, but has been, in truth, a period of your deepest connection, a time when your spirit, stripped of all other distractions, was most open to the profound, transformative work of my own. So, as you continue to walk through the remaining moments of this quiet season, do so with a heart full of peaceful anticipation. Cherish the first echoes of your new song, for they are the harbingers of the full symphony. Nurture the first shoots of your new creation, for they are the promise of the magnificent garden to come. And trust, with every fiber of your being, in the unseen craftsman, your loving Father, who is, even now, putting the final, loving touches on the glorious future He has so meticulously, so powerfully, so silently crafted for you. The unveiling is certain, my child, and it will be more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. And now, my beloved masterpiece, as you rest in the quiet assurance of my purposeful work, let your spirit be at perfect peace. The season of stillness has been a season of sacred, intricate crafting, and the future that is emerging is one of profound beauty and unshakable strength. Know that my hands will never cease their loving labor until all is brought to its glorious completion in my perfect time. You are not forgotten. You are the object of my most focused, most tender, most creative attention. Let this truth be your comfort, your hope, and your serene resting place, now and for all the days of your unfolding. Magnificent life